Crypto.com or CRO Coin stands to have one of the most bullish couple of years after these recent events have unfolded for various different exchanges, and this is one of my absolute must-holds in my crypto portfolio. What else has me even more excited for Crypto.com is in the last couple of days we've fallen over 15% in the CRO Coin price, and that's given me some great signals that we are in a great position to be able to load up on CRO Coin. And you're probably wondering, well, why has the price been falling in the last few days? Well, guys, jumping over to Cointelegraph, Bitcoin leverage ramps up as the Bitcoin margins long to short ratios hits a record $2.5 billion. As we know, when Bitcoin falls towards the downside, it will drag the rest of the crypto market with it. And what that really means is basically everyone is betting right now on Bitcoin going long, which means you basically have to take all of those longs out the market, And the more everyone's betting on it going long, the less stable the price will be. And ultimately, we will end up, instead of doing what everyone thinks we're about to do, doing the opposite, okay? Which will be coming down to a level like this and probably then seeing some form of a bounce. And in terms of other super bullish news for Crypto.com, understand what's happening in Crypto.com right now and why there's such an incredible opportunity, we need to think about what's just happened in the crypto environment in general. Okay, so the FTX collapse that obviously happened at the end of last year. FTX controlled a huge amount of the market, okay? It was the second biggest exchange after Binance. And because it kind of like went under, all of the people who were serviced by FTX then had to go and be serviced by someone else. And they basically went to the two exchanges, Crypto.com and Gate.io. Okay, so that is a very good reason why Crypto.com, who has now seen a 333% increase in Google searches over the last few months, is starting to boom. And that is very, very positive. And this is another very important piece to the puzzle right now. Coinbase has just released this tweet. We regularly monitor the assets on our exchange to ensure they meet our listing standards. Based on our most recent reviews, Coinbase will suspend trading for Binance USD on March the 13th, 2023. And if Binance is basically not passing the screening for companies like Coinbase, it means there is some shady things going on at places like Binance, and people will start to lose confidence in Binance. Okay, so that means that there could be potential upset coming for Binance in the future. I'm not saying Binance is going to go under like FTX, but you never know. And this again will start to push more people again in the direction of Crypto.com. So when we take all of those things into account, well, things are looking very bullish for Crypto.com, but we need to see Bitcoin pushing towards the upside. So before we look at the Crypto.com chart and I show you my incredible price prediction for the next couple of years, let's look at this Bitcoin chart, okay? So what we have seen is basically we were anticipating potentially that we would see a bounce here, but as you can see, we've ripped down here. Very interestingly though, we are finding support in this area just below here. This does support a rising broadening wedge potentially for Bitcoin. And I do think that this big push towards the downside, which has clearly found a stop there, will have liquidated a lot of those longs. And that will mean that we will then be steady and maybe able to see a further increase in the price again. I still think we're due a push up towards the sort of 26,000 and beyond. I do think we are still due a push up to sort of 26,000 and beyond for Bitcoin before we see any significant downturn in the crypto market. And what we're seeing in Crypto.com right now is actually very nice to see. Now, I talked about supply and demand in my video yesterday, which will be linked to the end of this, so make sure you go and check that out afterwards. I also talk about a huge scam in crypto right now, which I'll also link to the end of this video, so make sure you go and watch that, guys. Telltale signs of basically every crypto scam I've ever seen, and I myself have lost thousands of dollars in crypto scams, and I don't want you guys to, because it's pretty painful. So make sure you watch that video at the end of this video, linked up, guys, and you can check out the latest scam going around in crypto right now called Harvest Keeper. So I talked about supply and demand yesterday, and I did say, and I gave an example of like, if you're buying apples at, let's say, $1 an apple and you're happy to buy them, lots of people will buy those apples and eventually there won't be any apples left, and then they will increase the price because it'll be harder to get hold of apples. Therefore, the apples then go up to like $2, and then no one wants to eat apples for $2 each anymore, and eventually they won't eat them, and then the price will fall down again because there'll be lots available. So that basically the same happens in crypto. So what we can see is when we have falls down, this isn't necessarily a box of support or resistance, but where people are prepared to buy CRO Coin at, and up here where people are prepared to sell it at. Okay, so pretty simple. Supply and demand we can see working very nicely here. Now we can see that we did have some very aggressive pushes out of this area. We were obviously aggressively pushing here, and then once we fell back into it, you can see every time we get bought up very aggressively. So, now one thing that you need to kind of consider is when we drop down here, every other YouTuber is telling you that we've broken support, we're going to fall lower. Now what I actually want you to do is think about who is driving the price into here. It's the bigger kind of larger money guys who want you to think that this is going to fall lower. So you drive the price a little bit lower than these ones here. They take out all the stop losses on people who've gone long, and they try and scare more people into sells, and then they just rip it back against you. Okay, so on the final one, and you can see that happened here. Okay, so we had the highs, it pushes up above and then pulls back down. So what we need to basically anticipate is somewhere in an area around here. I would say that this is a good buying opportunity for CRO Coin. I could be wrong. This is not financial advice. It's just what I'm looking at. And if you're looking into the longer term, then this is still a great price to be paying at, guys. Because if we jump into the weekly, then you'll see how insignificant these little candles down here are when you look at what happened in the past to various other moves. If I look at these candles here, guys, and you compare them with what we're playing around with right now, these candles, some of which were like 70% in just a week. And what we're looking at right now from current prices is an opportunity to push back to these highs, guys. And that is a 12x to get to this high. But as I like to tell you guys, if we can take a swing high and drop it down to the recent swing lows, then we have a 1.618 target all the way back up here. And that is going to be sat at a 20x. I think crypto.com is sat very pretty as a crypto exchange. We're going to see huge amounts of pressure put onto crypto exchanges by the SEC and other regulatory bodies around the world. And that's probably going to be a good thing because it's going to get rid of the untrustworthy crypto companies and start to instill a bit more trust into the crypto exchanges that are actually practicing properly. So we anticipate that crypto.com is one of those, and that's why it's soaked up a lot of the volume that's come from FTX. Therefore, a 20x, in my opinion, is more than doable for crypto.com. If you agree with me, let me know down below in the comments. If you also want to know on a daily basis what cryptos are pumping and dumping and keep up to date with what I'm buying and everything like that, then get in my free Telegram, link down below in the description. Absolute no-brainer for you there. And while I use crypto.com, I actually also like to use Fairdesk for my day trading because of the seriously low fees that they offer over on their platform. As well as that, they have a copy trading feature where you as an inexperienced trader can come and copy traders, come and copy guys like this guy who's made $54,000 for his 23 followers in just the last week or so. You can obviously go through and find different traders there who suit your appetite for risk. Obviously don't use money that you can't afford to lose, guys. There's obviously still risks involved. If you enjoyed today's video, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. Thank you very much for doing that. Make sure you go and check out these videos now. One about the crypto scam Harvest Keeper. Also, get my Telegram link down below and hit subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.